Hello, I'm just going to do another video on this series of getting things off my chest anonymously. And in today's episode I'm going to probably go and explain about maybe like missing my childhood. I don't know, I might save that for a separate video, or I'm going to go somewhere like in between that, or growing distant from people as of getting older, becoming an adult. So yeah, throughout the years of growing up, becoming an adult, I've noticed I've grown distant from people I used to know, people that I've been to school with, family members. They're very distant. It's like we're complete strangers these days. And and I think growing distant from people is probably natural, especially when it comes to friends, people I used to go to school with. People move on. But the thing that's kind of gotten me, all of it has gotten me, but the thing that's really gotten to me, and I think is probably not right, is that I've grown distant from my own family members, and that's including my dad. I feel my father, like I've grown very distant with him. I still see him, but I think we're very emotionally different. We don't get on. We don't get each other. We're very different people. I might explain about our relationship a bit further down the video, but I don't know, I can slag him off for a passion, to be honest, these days, because I feel he's done stuff that's pretty questionable. Not the worst person in the world, there's far worse than him, but I think he's very emotionally distant, and it's not just him, I see it with a lot of people. I think there's something off about people these days, society, where it's hard to engage, people are not bothered, their heads are elsewhere. I think that's with my dad, his head's elsewhere. We don't sing from the same hymn sheet, we're on a completely different page. And I believe my dad might be going around undiagnosed with something. Because I think as becoming an adult, understanding maybe like stuff like autism, Aspergers, the adult brain, a bit more. I'm no expert. I'm no psychologist, so I don't really know. I could be talking out my arse here, but I think there could be somewhere he might be going around undiagnosed. Because I think I've noticed in the last 13 years, maybe a bit longer than that, there's something off about him. He's clumsy. He just looks like his head's just fucking elsewhere. And to be fair to him, he's been through a lot, I'd say. Probably with my mum getting ill. There was a period where he had to move out because my mum and dad split up for a bit, and he had to get a flat. So yeah, to be fair to him, and this is stuff I don't really realise until now, that he has been through a lot, and it's probably crippled his brain a bit, I guess. I don't know, but his head's just elsewhere. And I've always thought the way he does things was questionable anyway, because it's no secret, even before he moved out, before he split with my mum, he weren't really, he's probably not going to be the nicest people you'll ever meet, not the most easygoing of people you'll ever meet, but not the worst person you'll ever meet. It's far fucking worse, I think, where he's stubborn, he's impatient, says what he thinks. And there's times where you think, the way he does things, it's like, fucking hell, was there any need for that? Where he'd cause a big argument, a big scene that could have easily just been avoided. Trying to think of an example of something in the past, but there's no secret that he is a difficult person to deal with, and there's maybe that theory that he probably is going around undiagnosed, whether that's ADHD, Autism, Aspergers, bipolar, any of them really, multiple diagnoses, all that shit. But I think that seems to be going around with a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people are just riddled with ADHD, where their head's just fucking elsewhere, their attention spans are fucking shocking. They've got attitude problems, especially as a northerner. Fucking hell. There's a lot of people with an absolute attitude problem these days. A lot of people say northerners are friendly, but I don't know if I agree with that. I think that can get confused for nosiness, and a lot of them are probably just going around with ADHD, big fat attitude problem, getting into people's faces, cocky, overconfident, and I never really understood that. Seems to be normal, especially where I live. Just don't give a fuck. But yeah, I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I've grown distant to a lot of people, because that's what a lot of people are like. People who I've been to school with don't really know them these days, but I just feel like they don't have an interest in knowing me. They don't want to know. Because I've tried following them, some of them on social media, and they just don't want to know. They're not interested. They don't give a fuck. And that's made me a bit angry, a bit bitter. Made me question, have I done anything to upset them? What have I done to upset them, to get treated like that? And it's got me questioning, because I always saw myself as the weird kid. I don't know if I was. That's just me being self-critical, but I had Aspergers. I was a weird kid. Probably did some weird stuff, clumsy, weird shit. And I don't know if that's made me the shit on the side. Nobody wants to know anymore. Just unlikable. Because that's how I feel. And it's like, why are they so arrogant? What have I done? I feel like I live in an area where that's just normal to them. It's clickiness, clicky culture. things are completely different to how it was when I was a kid. And missing my childhood as well, it's like things were just completely different to when I was a kid. This is probably a time before social media, and I think social media is the thing that's probably ruined everything. Ruined social culture, the culture we're living today, and everything's just gone downhill. Something's seriously wrong with this world, I think. And this is normal to them. It's like, I feel like people are very fucking boring in England, especially where I come from. They're very boring, they're not really interested in a lot of things other than like football and getting pissed on the weekend and doing an hard day's graft. That's all it is. That's us as over interested in, it seems. And I've never really fit into that culture. Maybe I tried to, like I've had an interest in football in the past, but maybe that's just me trying to fit in. Because really, I'm not really that bothered about it anymore. But that might be because I support a rubbish football team who's badly run. But that's probably something for another video. Well, yeah, I just feel like I've grown very fucking distant from people. Things were just different to when I was a kid. We used to go to the cricket club every weekend. There were kids around my age and we just had fun, played, ran about, basically treated like the cricket club was our fucking house, just ran around, playing hide and seek, fucking just pissing about, climbing shit. Playing football, playing red arse, just all that shit. It was just a completely different time, and a time where I felt like I probably did belong. It's nothing like that anymore. Those times are gone. It's complete. It's just history, nothing but history now. And that's heartbreaking. And I feel like am I just the only one that remembers those good times? I feel like a lot of these people who used to hang out with still see each other, but for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just the odd one out. I don't know if it's social anxiety or what, fuck knows, but I'm just the odd one out. And that could go to Aspergers, my Aspergers diagnosis, where I'm just shit at socialising and struggling with social anxiety. Going to my grandma's, she lived in another part of the country to where I live. She lived down south. Well, she still lives down south, but yeah, she's still alive, but I don't go anymore. And I've always questioned why, and I feel like that's because I've grown distant from my dad. Me and my dad's relationship is not the best. And I have some theories is my dad trying to keep me away from his family, but maybe that's just me overthinking, thinking the worst. But I think that's down to me growing distant from my dad, and that's why my relationship with him and his family is pretty non-existent, really. I had cousins there who were around my age. I don't see them anymore, but they understandably probably have their own lives to move on. Just life was just completely different. And I feel like I'm just the only person that remembers and values those good times. I question whether they value it the same way as I do, because their social life is probably not as bad as mine, where they have girlfriends, friends, go out drinking on the weekend, going to, don't know, London for a night out, chilling out in a beer garden, just doing fun things. I don't have any of that. Fuck knows why, but many theories to why that's the case, and to why I've flirted with a life elsewhere in another country, moving on from this, because not so long ago it would have been very easy for me to move to another country and live somewhere else. The only person that was keeping me here would have been my mum, because she's probably the only person I'm close to, or not just that, I think I'm more closer to my sister these days, but that's just very recent, because there was a time not so long ago, probably a couple of years ago, where me and my sister weren't close. We were very distant ourselves. We were very different people. It weren't even like we were siblings, probably. But to be fair, I think maybe we've grown closer in recent years. Don't know if that's since me getting ill and she's realised, fucking hell, this guy needs some help. He fucking needs someone, and that's just a wake-up call for her that I'm not quite right. There's something not quite right about me, and I need that help. So maybe she's recognised that, where my dad probably hasn't, to a level. He's not very good at showing his emotions. But yeah, that's just me. Like, I've just noticed I've grown very distant from people since getting older. Don't know if it's the Aspergers. I could theorise that. There could be many theories to why that's the case. Just the environment I'm in, it's just happened. Nothing of my own doing, nothing that's my fault. But there's many theories to why that could have happened, and why things are very different to when I was a kid. And I don't know if that's just why I've suffered, and that's why I'm depressed. Why I've struggled to get work, because I feel like it's who you know when it comes to getting work. And I don't really know a lot of people. I'm very lonely and isolated. I was even more isolated before getting ill, because now I probably have my sister and my mum. At a push, maybe my dad, but I just feel like I'm quite distant from my dad emotionally. You just don't have that ability to connect. Don't know if that's a male thing or it's just going around undiagnosed, I don't know. And because I've been supported living, because of getting ill, I have support workers and I get on with quite a few of them. And going to Andy's Man Club, that's somewhere where it keeps my social life going to a level. And I've joined other clubs, some have not really lasted, but I feel like people are not really out to make friends for whatever reason. Don't know if that's just the culture in England at the minute, but I think there's something off about England, cliquey culture. People are just not very social. They stick to the cliques. And I feel just very distant from it. Hopefully it can improve, but because I didn't really think it would improve my sister, or not for a long time, but it seems to have. I go on holiday with her sometimes, which is probably the only good thing going for me at the minute, or one of the few. Yeah, there's probably improvements, but I've still got quite a long way to go, I guess. I still have my problems. But yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. Catch you in another video.